Welcome to Random Product Critic, a channel about critiquing anything that can be bought. From that ream of paper you've been eyeing to the newest smartphones. For this video, we're going to take a look at the Moto 360. Looks like a regular watch overall. Most people don't notice it's a smartwatch unless you start playing with it. It kind of gives it due to the fact that it looks like a regular watch. It's got the round face, just the single button over there. Your watch bands you can customize. This is just the basic steel one, and it's it fits pretty normally. I've got a really small wrist, so every watch looks big on my wrist, but it's still pretty comfortable even though it looks pretty big here. It's about a standard watch size, 42 millimeters maybe, and just to give you an idea on some of the trim. This one, it's all stainless steel. You can get your other watch bands, but the main case is always going to be the stainless. Buttons stainless steel as well, and you've got a little bit of a gold trim right here. For this watch band, it's just basic metal linking. The clasp is one of these hidden types where it snaps in like so. Can't tell it's there, and then you just pop things out from behind. The back here, it's plastic. It's just darker plastic. Right in the middle you can see the heart rate monitor. This kind of glows green when it's active, and most of the time it sits pretty inactive unless you tell it to be on. There have been reports of this back cracking. That usually only happens if you have an aftermarket watch band that's not meant for the watch. As far as weight, this one is all steel, so it feels about like a normal watch. First time when I picked up this watch, it had the leather band, and I was at Best Buy just kind of playing with it, and it's extremely light. Like, you can't really tell that it's a regular watch. It's just super light. So I opted for a heavier feel, also just for the looks. So you can see I'm getting all kinds of notifications. That's why my screen's going bright here. So let me give you an idea of kind of just how this watch works, and give you a background. You've got Motorola came out with this probably about a year and a half ago, and it's been doing very well compared to the competition. It's by far one of the most common Android Wear ones that I've seen around. There are some other good options out there, newer watches, but this one still competes right up with all of those, and still outperforms some of them. You can kind of see, just got a custom watch face here. I'm gonna fiddle with my camera here. Hopefully we can get a little darker so you can see it in the active mode. 1 second. Okay, after much fiddling and pausing the camera for a minute, I've got my darkness pretty dark here just so you can really see all the detail. My camera is not the greatest for comparing light. So here's a standard. When you get a notification, it's just going to pop up with this little bottom pop-up here. You can expand to see some additional details. You can scroll up if you have multiple notifications, and then depending on the card that you have, it will give you different options. Like, you can, a lot of them might have reply back on a message, or if you don't want to see that app again, you can block it by swiping over and clicking block. To dismiss every single one, you're going to be swiping from left to right, just like this. You can see it's starting to go away here, so I'll swipe that. It's gone back to the regular face. People like these Android Wear watches so much, I think, because you can customize these watch faces to do whatever you want. So I just long pressed here, and you can see I've got a couple watch faces available here. If I come back over here, I can select all kinds of watch faces. There's just endless possibilities. You can make all your own. or use ones that other people have made. So just select another sample here. As far as, I guess, kind of the overall experience, it's very basic. There's not, a huge amount it does. It's just, notifications and a few other activities. So your basic ones can be notifications and some, basic responding on emails by voice, or a sample message might be, reply by voice, or some of the pre-built functions in there. Some other things that it will do is, especially for fitness tracking, a lot of people like that. Tracks all your steps. You can do your heart rate, different things like that. But overall, it is a watch, so the main thing that you're focusing on is having a good watch face. Battery overall is, if you don't have ambient mode on, it's a couple days for this watch. If you do have an ambient mode, which means basically always keeping the watch on just in a kind of like an inactive state, a dim state, unless you're looking at it, that'll last for at least a day most of the time. You can get other apps on here that can be useful, so I've got like a shortcut drawer that scrolls over, and there's a few apps, like open up a couple here. So here's like a sample calculator app you can do. Again, to dismiss apps, you're just gonna swipe them left to right. Here's the heart rate monitor we were kind of discussing. So it'll pull your heart rate. What other ones are interesting? You can do navigation on here. With the newest Play Services update, I believe you can do Wi-Fi connections without needing your phone to be connected to here, so that's really handy. You'll also notice I've got Play Music. You can store songs directly on the watch, and if you have it synced to, say, a Bluetooth headset, you could go running with your music and not have to have your phone with you, just have your watch on. So a lot of cool little features you can do, timers and stopwatch and so on. If you're ever stuck somewhere, you can always just hit this home button and it'll go back to, well, you can't really see it because the video's dark, but if you hit the button, it's just going to go back to your home screen. If you long press it, it's going to go to your settings. So my watch keeps going inactive, so there we go. So there's your settings, few basic settings. There's your ambient mode, airplane mode, basic settings here. With some of the planned updates, hopefully we'll see a little more independence from the phone. I mean, right now it's very heavily relies on a phone with a Bluetooth connection. There's an Android Wear app that pairs with it, and it's very, very useful on getting things to the watch, but you still have to be paired with it. Also, we've got kind of a shortcut menu up here if you pull down from the top. So right now you can mute it, which basically just turns off and on your vibration. There's a theater mode, which will keep it black until you hit the button again. So there's theater mode. Sunlight mode if you want to make it really bright to see it for whatever reason, and then your settings. So, and you can see, let me scroll back here. So you can see when I activate one of these, I get a little tiny icon. It's kind of hard to see in this video here, but I get a little icon that just says you've activated that mode. So there's another pop-up for an email I got. I can kind of read the email more in depth by tapping on it, and I can delete directly, reply all, open on the phone, can block that app. So different apps will have different functions.
A lot of people have kind of complained about the flat tire on the bottom of the screen. I haven't really noticed it. Like, you get used to it really fast, and it actually, for some of the watch faces, people have created things called little worlds, which allow you to put little pictures on top of that and make it, almost a cool feature about the watch. So in there is your light monitor. You can cover it up with your palm and deactivate the screen. So it is needed, and again, it's not very noticeable once you're wearing the watch a few times. So overall, the watch is pretty durable. I've been really happy with it. You can get it wet, it's not going to be a problem. The microphone over on the sides fairly covered up well. There's no leakage or anything. It's just overall a good watch. Especially if you like customizing watch faces and just doing some basic functionality for notifications and things. The companion app, I'm going to jump into that really quick just so you have an idea of what that looks like. So this is our companion app for Android Wear. Basically, it allows you to kind of select your watch faces, link apps for shortcuts. So for example, you can see I've got Navigate connected to Google Maps. There's my music as well. And in here is kind of just overall your whole interface for things. So you can check your battery. Like here's watch battery. You can preview different cards, see the storage. Let's take a look at, there's calendar settings. You can, do all kinds of different things with this companion app. Hopefully we'll see a little more independence later on from the app. Right now it's pretty well dependent on it. The last thing that I wanted to show overall is the voice input. So at any point you can just say OK Google, and it's going to pop up with a speak now. And if I stop talking here, you'll see some text input. And based on that, it'll give you some search results and things. Apparently that whole long block gave us Pulp Fiction, kind of weird. So you can scroll through different results. If there's image search, you can view the images directly on your device. Text messaging works pretty well on here. There's a lot of times where I don't ever have to pull out my phone and it works pretty well. The search is pretty good as well. If you have a bad connection on your phone, sometimes the search takes a little while to process, but overall it's pretty snappy. There's not too much lag or anything. And you can always just dismiss these cards also by dragging down all the way for later and then pull them back up to get them back. Forgot to mention that. So that's kind of the basics. When you dismiss a notification from here, it's also dismissing it from your phone. So if I swipe this email away, it's not going to appear on my phone notification bar either. You can see that one just disappeared. So that's kind of the watch at a high level overview. A lot of people like it. A lot of people may go with other ones, especially if you like square watches. But if you like round watches, this watch is fantastic. I have no complaints with it. And it's just about the right size for fashion, as well as, overall just using the whole watch. So, good watch. I strongly recommend it. But I also recommend shopping around as well, just so you get exactly what fits your needs. So, if you have any experience with this, feel free to comment, and we'll talk to you in another video.
Thanks for watching. If you liked our video, please subscribe. And don't forget to thumbs up the video as well as share with others that may find this video interesting. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them below, especially if you have used the product before that we showed in this video. Thanks.